What's the worst part about having Tom Berg as our city councilman for West Oahu? Is it that Berg has been a major embarrassment to all of us by being a drunken, obnoxious, scandal-prone politician despised by Berg's own colleagues and constituents alike? Nope. Is it Berg's total failure to pass any bills at City Hall, or his lack of legislative achievements of any note? Not even close. The worst part is that Tom Berg is now under criminal investigation by the FBI, the Attorney General, and several other law enforcement agencies for being one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt elected officials in the entire state of Hawaii right now. And that's why we need to impeach Tom Berg from office. We've already had 3 city council members go to jail in recent years for committing the exact same serious crimes and ethical misdeeds as Berg. But Tom Berg is worse than all 3 of them put together, repeatedly violating his oath of office through extensive malfeasance, by breaking dozens of laws, and by committing hundreds of ethical violations since the day he took office nearly a year and a half ago. Just like Councilwoman Reen Moncho, jailed in 2002 for her crimes, Tom Berg has been using his 4th floor office at City Hall as his political re-election headquarters, illegally misdirecting tens of thousands of your tax dollars to his own re-election campaign machine through highly documented misuse of city employees, city resources, and city funds, and then falsifying official government documents to cover up his crimes. In fact, his own staff has been complicit in aiding and abetting Berg with first-degree theft, wire fraud, money laundering, and a host of other serious crimes against taxpayers. And like Councilman Rod Tam, who was sent to jail in disgrace just earlier this year, Tom Berg has been deliberately and systematically stealing from the city treasury and from his office budget for personal expenses and political benefit. And just like Councilman Andy Mirikatani, sentenced to 4 years in prison back in 2001, Berg also bribed and extorted his own staff to extract financial kickbacks to his election campaign, filing false reports and cooking his books to cover it all up. You see, in the past year, since taking office, Tom Berg has not raised a single penny through legal channels for his re-election since being sworn into office. It's because he doesn't need to raise any money. He simply steals all the money he needs from the city, from taxpayers, and from his own staff, and then uses his City Hall staff to do his campaign work as part of their jobs. It's highly illegal, and the evidence is overwhelming. Berg even fired a city employee in retaliation for blowing the whistle on the extensive waste, fraud, and abuse, and even sexual harassment going on in Berg's own office at City Hall with Berg's full knowledge and involvement.
I'm so sorry, but it's been over a day since we've held hands, and I gotta talk to you every day, so...
This is the kind of roller coaster operation that goes on in City Hall in the office of Tom Berg.
Because Rep. Kim Pine doesn't want to see Tom Berg be successful. Kim Pine, who's a failure, doesn't want to see Tom Berg in 3 months at the council have 76 legislators back over backwards and do what's right. Kim Pine is rather to be coddled by the GOP. I'm going to give him hell, holy hell. Crap.
Making matters worse, Berg even hired 2 of his political opponents, unqualified cronies, in exchange for her promise that she would not run against him this year, forcing those individuals onto the city payroll at your expense. That's how bad things have gotten. So bad that Tom Berg should be in jail rather than misrepresenting us on the city council. Until he is behind bars, which will happen, his own constituents have to take the needed steps to remove Berg from office, and here's how. Under the city charter, we only need 1,000 signatures on completed petitions. We're already halfway there. In order to have the Hawaii Supreme Court review the overwhelming incriminating evidence against Tom Berg in the form of Berg's own emails, his own voicemails, internal documents, and more. If found guilty, and he will be, Berg will be immediately stripped of office. This expedited process will get Berg off the city council until he is prosecuted and stands trial in state and federal courts. That's why we need your help in bringing Berg to justice. In addition to mailing in your signed petitions today, we do need your donations in order to spread the word and to defray the legal costs of impeachment. Councilman Berg has been a disaster for West Oahu residents and taxpayers. We deserve better. Help us today to impeach Tom Berg, one of the dirtiest, most disgraceful, and corrupt politicians in Hawaii today. You'll be glad you did. Mahalo.